Welcome back, fight fans. This is BoxTalk. It's great to see everybody again. Welcome back to BoxTalk. Today we're going to be talking about Ryan Garcia and whatever happened to him. If you like this style of content, please drop a comment down below on what you would like to see next, on what fighter I would like to talk next, maybe even UFC fighter or whatnot. And drop a like down below and subscribe for more content like this. So grab your drinks, grab your snacks, have a seat, and let's jump in straight into this. Now, as we know, the big mega fight in 2023 was the Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fights in Las Vegas. Amazing fight. Ryan Garcia lost in round 7 due to a body shot. It was very controversial from a lot of the fight fans because, as we've seen, Ryan Garcia usually wouldn't lose like this. He had a rehydration clause that he signed for against Gervonta Davis. It was about a 10-pound rehydration clause. He wasn't able to go over 140 pounds or something like that, some crazy number. And I think that could have helped cost him the loss because Ryan Garcia, he's not necessarily a smaller fighter. That's why he's went up to 147. But at the same time, like, that weight class, he's outgrown it. And that was the only way that they could have gotten the Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fight at that time. After that fight, we all know the Oscar Duarte fight happened. Then he went under the spiral between the drinking, the drugs, his family, and that kind of ruined Ryan Garcia's mentality. Somehow, he still scored that fight against Devin Haney, and he destroyed him. Now, with that being said, the New York State Commission took a look into his test results, and he tested positive for Ostarine. Now, do I think that hindered his performance or made his performance better? I don't know. It was a billionth of a gram. So let that be what you perceive it to be. But I think that it didn't, help his performance at all. To be honest, I don't think it helped his performance. I think he destroyed Devin Haney. Devin Haney hasn't been the same since. He obviously don't want to take a punch from his last performance. He ran around for 12 rounds. So after that fight, with the test results becoming positive, the issue was was there gonna be a win on the record or whatnot. So Ryan Garcia lost that win and it turned into a no contest. I think that really sucks. I think that may have hurt his ego on the inside. It must have bruised him, and Ryan Garcia really hasn't been the same since. Even the lead up to the Rolly versus Ryan fight, it looked like that Rolly was doing, most of the talking, and Ryan was really kind of taking the back seat and just watching everything happen and kind of focusing really on that rematch between Devin Haney. It seems like that it was the most important part to that fight card, was leading up to that. All of this was a lead up to that rematch if both fighters won. And Devin won. Devin didn't really do much. He didn't have to, quote unquote, he didn't have to make a statement or anything. He just went in there and fought and got out the ring. He ran around, whatever. Ryan, he lost. He lost to Rolly, and that's not, saying that Rolly was ever a pushover. I always knew Rolly was a strong fighter, and I think his loss to Pitbull Cruz was because Pitbull Cruz isn't really a boxer. He's a fighter, and Pitbull Cruz threw overhands like crazy. He spammed overhands like crazy. Pitbull Cruz is a very one-dimensional fighter, and Rolly got hit with the wrong shots. Rolly is very unconventional too himself, but he still has fundamentals. He started a little late in the game, but he's also a 3-time world champion, which is actually kind of crazy. During this fight, I already knew Ryan Garcia was going to get knocked down. I already knew that. I knew that coming forward. For the first couple of rounds, Rolly was already pawing at the jab, just like Tank was. Tank was doing the same thing, pawing at the jab, taking away Ryan's jab, disrupting his rhythm, so Ryan could not set up that blazing fast left hook that he usually throws. Now, round 2, of course, the infamous knockdown from Rolly to Ryan. Ryan was really off guard. He was off balance. He took a double left hook to the face, which is kind of rare, that they both landed flush. Amazing sequence, amazing shot. It was set up perfectly well. The rest of the fight was Rolly disrupting Ryan's rhythm by clinching every time that Ryan threw a power shot and taking away that jab every time that he would paw at it. He would throw like feeler jabs, really, disrupting his rhythm and aiming at the body. he would throw like 3 or 4 or 5 feeler jabs, and then boom, he would jab straight into for the body, and he would go upstairs. He would mix up the variety, and he would take his time while doing it. He didn't really have to do too much against Ryan because Ryan wasn't fighting on the inside. Ryan was letting all this stuff happen. But then the last couple of rounds, it looked like Ryan Garcia was losing his gas tank. That also could be because of the PED usage. So now it's starting to be speculated that maybe he was really on these PEDs and whatnot, and the loss doesn't help it either. So, you know, it's one of those things that Ryan is kind of put himself in the corner right now, and the only way to dig himself out is to fight a couple more fights and beat Devin Haney in the rematch. Now, with that also being said, Oscar De La Hoya came out a couple days ago saying that he and the team are not interested in the Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney 2 fight.
The rematch with Ryan and Devin, can you give us any update? Is that the direction you guys want to go now?
No, that's not the direction we want to go. Zero whatsoever. Devin actually lost, winning. His stock is super down. I mean, everybody's talking. I'm just stating facts here. People are talking about, him just being.
And that's probably because of several different factors. Number one, because Rolly beat Ryan. Rolly versus Devin Haney is probably going to be next. If not, then it's going to be Tio and Devin Haney. And Rolly's going to fight Boots. Mark my words, that could happen. Now, only because they both have belts. They both have WBA welterweight belts. Now, with that being said, what could that lead up to? Could lead up to another welterweight unification between Devin Haney or Tio or whoever versus who. And eventually Ryan Garcia is going to have to build himself back up. And how I think he's going to do that, he needs to fight Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz is a very aggressive one-dimensional fighter that Ryan needs to show his skills for. He needs to show his skills and beat him in either every single round, or he needs to knock him down, knock him out, which is probably going to be very difficult to put out Pitbull Cruz. That man can take a punch. Ryan needs to show off some skills somehow, some way. Pitbull is also going back down in weight, so there might have to be a catch weight in between there, or something's got to happen here. But that's the only way I can see Ryan Garcia really bouncing back from this, is beating Pitbull Cruz, maybe rematching Rolly, and then rematching Devin Haney as well. But of course, they all have different plans now that loss happened. So whatever happened to Ryan Garcia, really, he kind of took a little bit of a fall from grace, but that doesn't mean he can't bounce back from this. Ryan Garcia is still an influencer at heart. He will influence millions of people, and he will always be somewhat of the people's champ when it comes to boxing nowadays. So what we'll see in the future, we'll wait and see. Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy Promotions are going to give out whatever information to the next fight, probably within the next couple of months for Ryan Garcia if he doesn't take a major hiatus. I hope he wants to jump straight back into this after this loss, just to prove that he has the skills to beat Devin Haney again, and to prove that he could even be a world champion. Thank you all for watching. This is all I wanted to talk about today. Leave a comment down below on what you would like to see next. Smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and also that bell icon for notifications for whenever I drop a video. Thank you. This is BoxTalk. I'll see you later. Peace out.